As far as the new conference alignment goes, the power of the Pac-12 does indeed appear to be in the North Division, with Oregon and Stanford both ranked in the top 10. But what about the South Division? Several teams in the other half of the Pac-12 have the potential to provide major surprises. Despite the fact that the Trojans' appeal of NCAA sanctions was denied, Lane Kiffin returns for his second year at USC with plenty of talent. Matt Barkley's offense returns 6 starters, but once again, the Trojans are simply playing for pride.
I mean, we're not thinking about that when we come out here and have fun. It's maybe when you're at home and you see another teams play in December, then it might be. But as of now, we love playing football. We still get to play a season. At least we get to do that, and so we're going out and playing every game like it's a bowl game.
You know, we went through this last year. It's not new to not be able to play for a bowl game, and so we've gone through this experience. And so I think our guys are in good spirits. You know, we'll see. You know, it's easy now. It's when adversity hits. You know, if you lose a couple of tough games, and you know, then that sets in that you're not playing in a bowl game at that point.
In Tempe, Dennis Erickson's Devils have a new look, or at least the helmets and uniforms do. Gone is Sparky off the helmet, replaced by a more ferocious-looking pitchfork on the helmet. But can the Devils translate that new image into an improvement over last year's 6-6 campaign? ASU lost 2 defensive starters with ACL injuries in the spring, and earlier in training camp, the Devils lost linebacker Brandon McGee with an Achilles.
But you have those injuries, that's football. We've had it every year. This isn't like the only year we've ever had it. I mean, we lose guys, so guys have got to step up. That's why you have 85 guys on scholarship.
Even though camp is kind of wearing us down and injuries are kind of hurting us, still believe we could play with a lot more intensity out there. But overall, we're going to be solid as a defense.
Life was good for the Utes in the Mountain West Conference. 8 straight winning seasons, including last year's 10-3 campaign, which was slightly diminished by the blowout loss to Boise State in the Vegas Bowl. But head coach Kyle Whittingham says he's not too worried about the perceived step up in the level of play in the new Pac-12.
You know, the Mountain West, first of all, has some pretty good football. You know, TCU last year was as good a team as was in the country. And so, you know, it's not like we're coming from a conference that was a weak sister, because that's not the case. But we understand that the bar's been raised and the challenge has escalated. And we've got to be ready every single week to bring our A game.
We here. Whether people think we deserve to be here or not, you know, it's up to us to, you know, show our true strength and show our true colors and show them what Utah football is all about. So we're just looking forward to competing week in and week out and showing the nation what we're about.
Here in Westwood, the honeymoon is definitely over for the Bruins and 4th-year head coach Rick Neuheisel. The coach is looking for just his 2nd winning season in Westwood after a 4-8 campaign a year ago. 15 starters return, and Neuheisel believes he needs a winning season if he wants to stick around.
It is what it is. People are going to say when you're in year 4 and things haven't exactly been wine and roses that that's the way it is. You know, I'm at my alma mater. It's where I want to coach. I've got guys that I've recruited. They're all trying their hardest. We're going to do our best job ever coaching, and we're going to see what happens.
Just 12 starters return for Mike Stoops in the coach's 8th year in Tucson as the Cats try to rid themselves of the bad taste left in their mouths by the Alamo Bowl loss to Oklahoma State to end last season. Quarterback Nick Foles returns with his band of wide receivers, and the senior signal caller is looking for a big final season in Southern Arizona.
We're starting with a bunch of what are considered the toughest teams in the pack, but the thing about it is every team's pretty tough. We got to continue to get these young guys growing. O-line's young, but they're continuing to do better every day. And I'm looking forward to this schedule. That's what you want that's what you want to do when you play. You want to play against the best every week, and that's what we get to do.
In the first year of their Pac-12 existence and with one of the toughest schedules in the country, expectations are tempered here in Boulder. First-year head coach John Embry left the Washington Redskins of the NFL to return to his alma mater, and Embry has made it clear to his guys they are going to change the way they see themselves.
We have to make sure there's a sense of urgency in everything we do. You know, we can't be sitting around waiting for something good to happen. We got to go out there and try to make it happen. And with the schedule we have to start fast. We can't sit around and try to figure out who we are and what we want to be and be 5 games into the season. We'll be out of it.
John Embry bringing a dose of energy there. The media likes USC to return to form and claim the first ever South Division crown Trojans with 24 of the votes. Keep in mind, If SC does win the South, it will not be able to play for the conference championship, as the title game would still be considered the postseason, and this is the last year of the Trojans' postseason ban. Expect ASU to be right there all year, with Dennis Erickson's job perhaps on the line. The Devils earned 13 first-place votes. Newcomer Utah picked third, Arizona fourth.
Then perhaps Rick Neuheisel playing for his job as well. Bruins fifth. The media doesn't expect a whole lot out of Colorado, but the South should really be competitive its first year, with 4 of the 6 teams legit shot at taking home that division title. Cal's Memorial Stadium currently in the middle of a $321 million renovation, forcing the Bears to play their home games across the bay at AT&T Park. As for the construction, Phil Milani has a behind-the-scenes tour.
The rumble of construction crews will replace the roar of fans this fall as 87-year-old Memorial Stadium gets a necessary retrofit to meet seismic standards.
The seismic hazard was in all the elevated structure from the south scoreboard tower well past the north scoreboard. They tore out roughly 2/3 of the entire bowl, and across the way on the historic facade used to be the old press box. Now they're building a 110-yard new club level and press box, and by the start of the 2012 football season, the finished product should look something like this.
The entire design of the building was to hunker the High Performance Center into the ground and maintain the views of the historic stadium facade from the campus.
Complete with a warm water therapy rehab pool, the new High Performance Center will provide training facilities for 13 of Cal's 29 sports.
So this is a multi-sport, multi-discipline, gender-neutral space in the building.
Down the hall is a semicircle football locker room, large enough for 120 lockers.
Obviously, there's sometimes a preference to have a big room with the lockers all around the perimeter, but it's just not very space efficient.
Cal will keep a piece of tradition. The historic facade will remain as is.
We're building a new concrete structure behind it, and this basically becomes the veneer to the new building.
In Berkeley, I'm Phil Milani for Inside the Pac.
Phil, thanks. We're on the home stretch of this Inside the Pac preseason special. When we return, one Duck has taken an incredible journey to be on the football team at Oregon. The story of Darian Weems when Inside the Pac rolls on.